you don't want it to repeat.
No, it's great. I just want to make sure there's no conflicting with this.
Well, somebody will tell us.
Commence primary ignition.
All right, check the drive folder, and you should have my picture in there.
Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition.
Live charge. So I'm probably not going to say all this stuff at the end here. I think I'm just going to, the podcast we discuss. I'm just going to say like all things, something like that,
What did I write?
rather than saying all the rest. Are you good with that line?
Primary ignition.
For real? Or just saying-
No, I'm good with it. I thought it was long to begin with too. I just wasn't.
No, I'm just.
I was trying to give you room to ad lib.
No. Like I said,
Commence
I'll
primary
do what I
ignition.
do. But
Yeah, I know you will.
Commence primary ignition.
Right. That'll come into play when we do show. All right. It works.
it works. Hello. Test. What up?
Commence primary
Checking the
ignition.
kids' room when you're done. So I was very nervous.
You nervous?
Something happening at school. Worried more last night. Apparently. Just seemed kind
Commence
of crazy.
primary ignition.
Okay, hang on a second. We're getting audio on.
Hello. Test. Audio.
Commence primary ignition.
It should be good.
Okay, I am getting audio on that repeat thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So how do I get rid of that?
Commence primary ignition. Commence primary ignition.
Sound. Alright, should I just get it out of there then?
Commence primary ignition.
I don't know how to like mute that.
Commence primary ignition.
Mess around with this. Let's figure this out. I love it. I just gotta. It can't have sound the whole time though. right. Well,
Commence primary ignition.
I'm gonna take it off loop. Or did you turn the sound off?
Yeah, it's still going.
Commence primary ignition.
All right. Well, the loop's off now, so it's just
Commence
stop.
primary ignition.
Well, that might be the last one.
And now it's gone.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, as much as I love it,
We'll just have to play it once for him at the beginning, and then.
I'm gonna make this one big again and be done with it. Because I have the other thing on the bumper.
Right.
It'd be cool to show it, but I could show it and then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna do it like that. How we doing, people? You ready? I got a host. That's something.
Awesome. Okay, I'm good to go.
You don't have the frosty beverage thing in here. I noticed either.
Yeah, it's there.
Is it? Where?
Part 3.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I thought that was lower before. Okay, ready?
I'm putting in what I'm drinking. I don't know what you are, but
I already got what I'm drinking. Ready?
word, homie.
All right, let's play our new bumper thing then, real quick. Where is it? Why is everything hard?
Because I'm so hot.
Inaccurate. All right. I don't know where it is, so maybe we'll skip it. Where the heck is it? I bet it's up here. All right. Well, instead, I'll play it off the thing, and we will make this big again. Beautiful. All right, ready?
Word.
Commence primary ignition.
Hello and welcome to episode 160 of The Usual Podcast, a podcast where we discuss all things geek and pop culture. I'm your host, Marshall, and with me, back in the studio, is my co-host, Will. What's up, buddy?
Dude, I'm so excited to be back in the same room with you.
I'm excited to have you in the same room with me, even though your camera seems to not be working. So here we are.
Schnookies. Hang on.
The tech problems start. So anyway, we're
Here we
just
go.
sitting here enjoying our usual frosty beverages. My friend, what are you drinking on our 160th episode, sitting in the studio together once again, my friend?
Well, pre-show, I had an Acme IPA and a Blue Star Belgian Ale.
Indeed.
And during the show, I will be drinking a Prankster from the North Coast Brewing Company right here in Fort Bragg.
Nice. I also had an Acme, and then I had a Brother Thelonious from North Coast as well. And now I'm drinking one of my standbys, Sierra Nevada Hazy Little Thing IPA. One of my
Very
faves.
nice.
One of my faves.
Very nice.
Sometimes I do my eyeball. I may be dying.
So you're going to notice a few changes tonight.
Right.
Hopefully our sound is crisper.
Yeah, I think we sound great.
Well, that's the only thing I didn't put in there for what we've actually changed is the new equipment.
Should I do our little before we get started part?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So before we get started, if you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. So please like us and share us with all your friends on all the social medias. That'd be great. I am at Darth Pops on Twitter, and Will is at I am Will Griggs. You can find us on all your favorite podcatchers. So give us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, maybe Google Play if it exists, Podbean, Plex, wherever you get your stuff. So we appreciate it. Definitely. If you want to buy some gear, teespring.com/store/usual podcast as well. And a big shout out to everybody who is in the chat room this week. Thank you for joining us on our, man, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
I haven't done that spiel in a while. Actually, I have, but not with you.
Not with me, with Nick and with John. And
Yeah, I've been cheating on you. So,
dude, you've been cheating on me.
it's fine. You've been away. So that's what happens.
So is this one of those things when they're not in the area code, it's not cheating?
Sure. Don't tell my wife. Just kidding. So, dude.
Dude, if she doesn't know what you and I do when we're come on.
Oh, she knows. All right, man. So we have the chat room. So thank you, everybody who's in there. And, of course, we'll keep our eye on that for sure. We have a couple changes, and I think we should just start off. First of all, let's talk to our drinking buddies and tell them thank you for supporting the show, even in our brief hiatus. So Eddie and Zen and everybody else and John Skeen and everybody else who supports our show in a big bad way, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I wasn't at Comic-Con, so I didn't really, and I wasn't part of the roundtable, so I didn't really get a chance to say it. But Zen, big thank you for supplying the frosty beverages for everybody. I blame you for the lack of control that Marshall was able to impose.
And I'm a teacher. That was hard. So we're gonna change it up this year. If I go to Comic-Con this year, that's a conversation we'll have to talk about later.
That's a bomb he just dropped on me.
I know.
I was the one who missed it this year.
If I go, which I probably will, this will probably be my last year. And I can talk about that another time. But if you listen to my other show, this is shameless plug time. If you listen to my other show, Just Keep Writing, it'll make a lot more sense why I'm probably going to stop doing San Diego Comic-Con, because I want to do more writing. I want to focus more on my writing and using my money to go to conventions and retreats and stuff like that.
I
So
got you. No, I
that's where I'm
got you. And my shameless plugs will be at the end.
Okay, sounds good. All right, man. So we have some format changes. Now we got everything else out of the way. We are going to change some stuff up. It has been a while since Will and I have been in the same room. We are testing some brand new equipment I got in my program at the high school, and I think it's phenomenally awesome. So I'll probably be buying one for myself.
Well, why don't you tell them what it is so they can...
We're testing out the Rodecaster Pro, which is a mixer specifically for podcasting. It's basically a plug-and-play kind of deal, but I feel like just ease of access and ease of setting up and plugging things in and just being ready to go right off the bat.
It seriously looks and acts a lot easier than what we used to use.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically a streamlined mixer for podcasting. And I'm not getting paid by Rodecaster. I'm testing it out. But like I said, the kids like it. I'm digging it so far. Everything seems perfect looking down at the board. So I am happy. And I know a lot of other people use it. And I know it's one of those devices that has really enhanced the quality and consistency of a lot of shows out there.
I was so thinking the same word, enhanced.
Enhancement.
Enhance.
Okay.
Those of you who are Broken Lizard fans will get that joke.
Okay.
But, I would love people to compare episode 160 sound quality to episode 1
Don't you dare say
sound
episode.
quality.
They might not even heard me say that. Don't you dare listen to episode 1.
It was ugly.
Off limits.
I was recording and communicating through my iPod headphones.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
While
Anyway,
I was in an RV parked in a fraternity parking lot.
why are you gonna bring up old stuff?
Because it's awesome.
Okay, so how are we doing it? What are we changing?
All right, so it dawned on me during our 9-month hiatus of, I think, 3 shows over 9 months, and Marshall being away at Comic-Con and everything, that really our focus of content has changed. And it really came to a crystallization when, if you don't know, we're part of the influencer group for Star Wars: The Old Republic, which has been the main focus for our show. But then we just realized that we really weren't talking about the gaming all that much because, one, we weren't really playing it. Actually, I had to stop subbing while I was unemployed. But there was a couple other people who actually stopped being influencers just because their content had shifted.
Right.
I'm drawing a blank on who it was that dropped out being an influencer, but I'm like,
There's a few out there.
Half the time I end up muting the Twitter conversation just because none of it affects me, right?
Yeah.
And so I figured, we'll still talk about SWTOR because we both love it and everything, but it'll just shift down into our gaming section, and we'll shift the whole Star Wars section down into our pop culture section. Basically, we're going to just talk about everything we used to, just in a different order, and focus it more on the pop culture.
So the sections of the show basically are disappearing, which is the big change.
Right.
our show is basically geek and pop culture, which it always has been. We've just sectioned it off because we were spending a lot more time in various sections. And maybe somebody wasn't interested in Star Wars, but they really wanted to listen to us talk about TV.
Exactly.
Right?
And so it's really nice because, one, it should make editing a lot easier because you don't have to edit in different bumpers. You don't have to...
Thank Jeebus.
All that stuff. Plus, with the wonderful Rodecaster Pro, we're going to be having less sound issues. So hopefully your editing experience, my dear friend, will be a lot easier.
Theoretically.
But we've also noticed that, and you will notice if you're in the chat room with us or watching this video on Twitch, that we're also hyping up other projects that we're doing. I mean, Marshall's doing Just Keep Writing, which he does with the wonderful Nick Bright. And I have been working on, basically it's just a daily social media post called Daily Dose of Disney, but eventually it'll work into more videos and podcasts and stuff like that. But as of this week, my Daily Dose of Disney almost has as many followers as we do for usual podcast.
What are you trying to say?
That people love Disney. That's
People
it. Really,
love Disney.
It really has nothing to do with me or the quality of my posts. It really has everything to do that people love Disney.
But honestly, man, think about this. Disney is a juggernaut right now.
It is.
And we've spent a lot of time talking about Disney across the board all these years. I mean, next, in a few months, we've been doing this, 5 years? In January?
Almost 6, I think. I think we're almost
Or is it
to
6? I don't know. We'll have to look back.
Yeah.
But the point is we've been doing this a long time. Obviously, we're only at episode 160, but that's of our regular show. We've got 100 and we're close to 200 episodes up on iTunes right now. So
right.
The idea is we've been around a while, but the underlying topics have always been geek and pop culture. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to bring in all the things that you love, but we're also going to spend less time on SWTOR and Star Wars in general, but incorporate that into our normal conversations. So hopefully the episodes will be theoretically a little shorter,
a little bit more streamlined,
and more focused. And hopefully the conversations will ripple out into social media and that kind of thing as well.
And hopefully, because you are already listening to this, you will have noticed the intro changed. We'd been having one that was basically focused on the Avengers,
right?
Which actually shows, because that was just a year old or so when we started this podcast. Now it's 7 years old.
We just closed out phase 3 of Marvel, right?
I know, right? And that was in phase 1. So, it's only so many times that it's still relevant to say, I'm always angry.
Right.
So we actually have a wonderful intern who has been working with us for the last couple of years behind the scenes, just giving some, cleaning up some images and stuff, but he created this wonderful little video that's about 20 seconds long.
Right.
And if you're listening to the podcast, you're just hearing the audio, which is great in and of itself. But you're going to see a wonderful video, and we'll post it to our YouTube channel. We'll post it to Twitter and everything.
I'm gonna pin it on the Facebook page for a bit.
Oh, perfect.
Before I post this show, and I think that'll be the best way to go about it.
Absolutely. So be sure you go to the Facebook page and YouTube and check those out. We don't want to say his name because he's still just out of high school. But
why are we not saying his name?
Well, do we want to say his name?
Yeah,
we can say his first name.
It's Mitchell. Mitchell's amazing.
Mitchell is amazing. He does wonderful work. Yeah, he's now off to college.
Yeah. And he's one of my students. I've known him for a number of years. Really awesome dude. We wish him the best of luck in college.
Very talented.
And very talented in what he does. So I'm sure he will have more to contribute to the geek world and the tech world very, very soon. So thanks, Mitchell,
absolutely,
for that. Appreciate
All
it.
right. So do we want to
yeah, let's do it.
Get into our headlines?
Yeah, dude. Headlines time. What do you got? This is a big one, dude. So since we talked last.
Well, since we talked last.
Well, yeah. Since you and I have been on the mic last, Marvel and Sony broke up. They got back together recently.
Okay, they're the Ross and Rachel of the media conglomerates.
You're so stupid. I like that. That's good.
And I think Spider-Man is Marcel the monkey.
Yeah. So with the breakup, so why don't you recap really quick, and then I'll lead up to what just broke pretty much yesterday.
Okay, so basically, Sony and Marvel originally came to a 5-picture deal that Kevin Feige was going to produce the content, but Sony was going to release it. But the main thing that they all got hung up on was that Sony would get the lion's share of the profits. Marvel would get 5% of initial gross revenue, and they would get all the merchandising funds. when they were trying to renegotiate, Marvel was going for 50%. And which I think is, more than fair because, I'd say Feige does all the work, but Feige is he's the brainchild of all this stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though Sony's putting up all the money and stuff, I still kind of whatever. But so basically they had a fallout. There was going to be no more of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it was all going to be going to what is called Sony's Universe of Spider-Man, Sony's Universe of Marvel Characters is what it's called.
Sounds
Which is
convoluted,
basically the Venomverse.
right.
But I think they're starting to call it the Spideyverse. But that has included the Into the Spider-Verse, but most notably Venom.
Yeah.
Venom 2 is in the works, and we're thinking that Tom Holland is going to make an appearance in that somehow.
Yeah, I've been hearing mixed things on that, but yeah.
Right. So we'll see how that goes. But basically, they came up to this agreement the last couple of days.
So the agreement is that now they will do one more picture, and they came to 25%.
It's now 25% of the gross, plus they still get to keep the marketing rights, but it's actually a 2-picture deal, but it's a one more Spider-Man movie.
Right. One more Spider-Man in the MCU.
Right, and then one more appearance other than that.
Right.
Which I honestly think is going to be in the Eternals.
Really?
Just because the Eternals can, I think it'll either be the Eternals or it'll be
because that's early in the next phase.
Yeah, or it'll be Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah,
because they both involve multiverses.
Right.
And so I think that's the reasoning.
All right, I'm down with that. But
because in those cases, you can kill off the Spidey that we know, and still leave the option of there being another Peter Parker in another multiverse.
Exactly. So yesterday, day before, can't remember. It came to light that one of the driving forces behind the deal coming to fruition finally was Tom Holland himself.
And I can't believe he kept this a secret.
I know, right? He's notorious for giving away things, and I'm just glad that he spoke up. I'm glad that I'm not surprised he spoke up, but I'm also glad that they listened to him because he is legitimately. I don't want to say he's the best Spider-Man on the big screen that we've had.
Oh no, he is.
But he is. I mean, personality-wise, the way he looks, the way he.
I mean, he's the first Spider-Man that's actually a teenager.
Yeah, and he's legit good.
And the chemistry that he and Zendaya have are just is fantastic.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'm excited to see where all this goes. But I'm just glad that deal did not is not still going, and they made agreement, and it's gonna happen. So I'm stoked.
Yeah, and I'm hoping they can actually extend it because even though it's only a 2-picture deal, the Spider-Man picture is coming out. I think they announced July of 2021.
Oh yeah, yep.
And so I think it's July 19th of 2021. So we at least have 2 years. And then, if it's going to be in the Eternals or in Doctor Strange 2, that's going to take us into 2022. So it gives us a couple years for them to renegotiate. It's not down to the wire like it would have been with this last negotiation.
For sure.
Plus, it's another way for Marvel to say, hey, here's 2 more billion-dollar grossing movies that you were never able to do on your own.
Right, exactly. All right, man. So one of the other things we do, sadly, is say goodbye to some folks. You got a nice list here.
Yeah, I'll take the first 3, and I'll let you take the last one because I know she's a little bit more close to your heart.
For sure.
This is, of course, talking over the last 9 months, but most of them are more recent, except for the big one. But in the last couple of weeks, we lost 2 heavy hitters in the musical world. We lost Rick Ocasek, who was the lead singer of The Cars.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Fantastic guy. Great work. He was like the first musician to really marry he married Paulina Porizkova, who was a Sports Illustrated model.
Okay.
And just I hate to say ugly guy married a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But he's so talented. And then Eddie Money, who
I know.
My brother and my sister went and saw him at a fair down in Paso Robles just a few years ago, and they said it was just a great concert. Yeah. It was one of the free concerts, and he sang. Why am I drawing a blank on his hits? Cut that. But they just loved it. Just loved it. He did a great performance.
Yeah, I mean, and Eddie Money is one of those people who, I don't know. You think like these people stop doing the things. Right.
No, he kept touring forever.
But he toured for so long.
Yeah. I mean, he toured up till when he was dying.
And he was 7 years old. I just wanted to find a couple of his hits. Baby Hold On.
Take Me Home Tonight.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
what
Take
I'm
Me
thinking.
Home Tonight. That's the big one.
Take Me Home Tonight.
Love that song.
Oh God, that's a great song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was that, and then this is a name you don't know, but those of us, especially Disney fans,
Oh yeah.
Richard Williams passed away. He was in his 80s, but he was a classic animator. But he's known because he created the Roger Rabbit character for Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Which I love that movie.
and that movie still holds up.
Groundbreaking in its time and still holds up.
Bob Hoskins was amazing in that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
considering, now it's like you see Andy Serkis and it's all motion capture and everything, and so people can act opposite of him.
Right.
He was acting opposite like a tennis ball
Yeah.
or a coat on a hanger, or
And he was able to still put that performance
with
out.
perfect timing.
Yeah, it was great.
Bob Hoskins is amazing. Another guy who passed away just a few years ago.
Yeah.
But he was wonderful in everything he did.
Yep.
So,
Hey, Kidley, welcome.
Hey, Kid Lee. So sad to see that Richard Williams passed away. But
Yeah.
I'll let you take this last
And
one.
the last one, and this happened, I don't remember the date.
I want to say back in June.
Yeah, it was a few months ago. Toni Morrison passed away. Amazing writer, obviously, and just I'm not gonna. It bugs me when people like this go, because they were so influential in their writing, but also in what they did in their communities, right? But just obviously her biggest works were Beloved, which is obviously still taught literally in the school I work in right now.
Yeah, I see it in the library every day.
Yeah, Song of Solomon and The Bluest Eye. Those are just a few.
How Stella Got a Groove Back.
And it goes on and on from there. And what I really wanted to put forth today when I saw her name up here is the communities that I walk in, I guess, and writing communities and stuff like that. The outpour of just love, right, and loss that came through via social media when she passed. It means a lot. So people, writers sometimes don't get their due, but people like this, I mean, I think it's really important that that people recognize the contributions that these people do, especially
Exactly.
at the time when she was writing. Oh my God, dude! In these earlier works like civil rights movement and all that kind of stuff. So it's super important.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't want to keep going on that because I'm very emotional today. So let's move on.
Normally this next section we would have a little discussion, but I think I didn't put anything in here, and I think we should leave the discussion to the audience, and hopefully you guys can reach out to us and tell us what you think of the new format, the new intro, the new just the new sound, everything.
Yeah.
And we'll leave the discussion up to you guys, and we want to hear from you on all the socials.
And what I love is that someone in chat just came in and said, "What podcast are we doing?" We are doing the usual podcast, which is episode 160. Will is back in the studio, and all the things are happening. So hopefully you can hear us. Things are sounding good, and we have a little bit of a different format. We're just talking about geek and pop culture right now, people. So join us. We're about to talk about some stuff. Let's talk about Stranger Things, bro. No, Disney Plus. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, I just threw this in here as a
Thanks, Kidley.
as a tiny little aside that they had the big special they were offering from Disney for Disney Plus, where if you subscribed for 3 years, you got it for, I think it was $3.92 a month instead of the regular price, which is going to be $6.99 a month.
Yep.
Or $69.99 for the year. I unfortunately wasn't able to do it because I couldn't afford it at the time, but it was 3 years for like $141.
Is that deal done?
Yeah, I think it was ended September 2nd.
Sorry, I'm playing with stuff now.
Because I went to the Disney Plus subscription page and it's not offered anymore. But I'm thinking it might be still offered if you're a D23 member, because I got an email this week from the D23 still offering it. So I'm thinking it might be available if you're still a D23 member, but it is free to join D23. So if you're still looking for the deal, check that out.
Well, I'll report back next week, because what I did was I joined D23 and I'm lagging on doing the other part.
Right.
So if it's still open to me, then I'll let you know.
I mean, basically, it'll save you about, let's see, it's $70 to $210. You're going to save about $69.
Yeah. Which, I mean, and honestly, guys, as far as Disney Plus goes, I'm pretty stoked about it. Obviously, with things like The Mandalorian, and that kind of thing. and of course all the Marvel stuff. It's going to be well worth the
all the Marvel
$6.
shows is
Yeah.
going to be incredible.
like
and
WandaVision.
Yeah,
and
well,
all
I
that
didn't
stuff.
I didn't even put this in the news, but I'll just throw it in here. It just got announced this week that all of the Marvel series
Yeah.
are getting the same budgets that the feature films get.
Are you kidding me?
No, so like they said like the Loki series, the Winter Soldier and Falcon series
And then there's
is getting
WandaVision. and
is
Loki.
getting a budget of like 125 million,
Wow.
which
That's amazing.
which over the course of 6 movies ends up being about 15 to 20 million an episode.
Yeah.
And to kind of put it in comparison, the Netflix shows that Marvel did, so Daredevil, which still turned out fantastic,
Yeah.
those were only getting about 3.5 million an episode. So the quality on these things is going to be incredible.
Well, and I think that's important.
Well, plus a lot of it is going to be, a lot of it's going to be going to established casts,
Right.
because you can't be offering. I hate to say it, you can't be offering Tom Hiddleston for Loki the same amount of money you were offering, Mike Coulter for Luke Cage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he wasn't. I mean, he did some stuff, but he wasn't known. Hiddleston is known. He's an established quality.
Absolutely. So, all right, man. So as far as Disney Plus goes, I could not be more excited about all the stuff coming down. I'm really intrigued to see what they do with WandaVision. Of course, The Mandalorian I'm excited about, and then the Rogue One prequel as well. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be worth having a subscription, a few more dollars come out of my bank account for content that I'm going to have to put everything else aside to watch some of this stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the Star Wars movies are going to be in it. The right
the Disney
now
TV shows, right?
Yeah, and all the Marvel catalog is going to be in it. I think everything up to, but not including Captain Marvel. So I don't think it's going to include.
I thought Captain Marvel was coming on day one.
Okay, on day one, I think it's Captain Marvel in the 2 Infinity Wars and the Far From Home. Everything prior to that, I think, is still under license to Netflix to the end of the year. So I think that's going to be coming at the beginning of next year.
January, February. Okay.
Because I remember Captain Marvel was the first one not on Netflix and went directly to Hulu, I think, which is half Disney owned. So
makes sense to me, dude.
All right, so tell me about. Okay, I still haven't watched Stranger Things since season 1.
Boo.
There's
boo.
someone who is much more well known than us in the podcasting field is Eve Skywalker, who's on the Unmistakably Star Wars podcast.
Okay.
They were actually part of the stage podcast for the last Star Wars celebration in Chicago.
No shit. Okay.
And she actually has her own new podcast called the Iron Sea Podcast, which is about pop culture and mental health.
Okay.
She just released her second episode. Check it out. Skywalker Eve on Twitter. So really go check her out. But she is a huge Stranger Things fan, especially David Harbour.
Harbour's the man, dude.
Her Twitter feed is like just all David Harbour pictures with like saying, I love him.
But Winona Ryder, though, is brilliant.
That's
in
what I
show.
hear. I loved her in season 1.
So my point is Stranger Things is amazing. Just got recently announced as a little teaser trailer for season 4 that just got released a few days ago.
Right, because this is coming out at the end of the month, right?
Season 4?
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Because I thought it usually got released around Halloween.
No, don't get crazy.
Sorry, my bad.
The last one came out July 4th. Remember?
Oh, right. It was a. Yeah.
This was just a teaser to say that it's happening.
Okay. Good.
And I don't know when it's coming out, but it's not coming out that soon.
But the creators just signed a deal with Marvel, I think.
Yeah, they're doing.
So everybody thinks that season 4 is going to be the last series.
Right. They sound. Oh, I put that article in here.
Did you?
Oh, I thought I did.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
I saw it on my thing. They signed a deal with Marvel to do, or was it Star Wars? No, it was Marvel. Let's find that out before we
I'll look it up too.
Move on. So anyway, I'm stoked about Stranger Things 4. The season 4 has been announced. Season 3 was great. It's just one of those shows that just seems to keep going strong and not really losing what the reason people come to watch it. The kids are growing up, but it makes sense with the story. And I don't know. I find that it's all very, 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 very good. What's up?
They signed a multi-year deal with Netflix. They're still with Netflix.
Yes.
But it's to create other films and TV shows.
That's right. It was a huge deal. I heard 8 figures
Yeah, I think so. Let me bring up the actual
eight-figure.
numbers.
It's a 8-figure deal to basically do whatever they want on Netflix.
Yeah,
which-
so it's the Duffer Brothers.
yeah. Merry Christmas to the Duffer Brothers. Is that a child coming to my door?
No, it's
It's a
Daggett.
dog. Okay. So should we move on, or you want to add something to that?
I was looking for money.
Ralph Garman said it was 8 figures. Yes.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that's tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah. And multi-years too, obviously. They
Oh,
just,
yeah, I
they
think
just
it's-
they just get all the money to do what they want, basically. So
yeah,
that's good.
exactly.
All right, so let's get on to Amazon. Lord of the Rings. There's a series coming to Amazon,
Which we've known for a while.
which we've known for a while. And I only put this in here because there was a couple of things that came up since we spoke last that I thought were worth noting. They're doing their filming in New Zealand again,
Of course.
which makes sense. Will Poulter has joined the cast in a lead role,
Oh, I like Will Poulter.
which he was in Black Mirror Bandersnatch, Midsummer.
Well, if you don't remember, he was in We're the Millers, and he played the
that's
one who had his balls bit by the spider.
Oh God. And then yeah, so those are the main things. They're still working on casting of course and stuff like that. But I just wanted to throw it out there that it's happening and I'm excited about it. I think they can really there's a I don't want to say a hole, but now that Game of Thrones is gone.
Well, actually, that's something we didn't put in here either, but they did announce last month that because we already know that there's going to be a Game of Thrones prequel with Cate Blanchett, and that's already in production.
Yeah.
And I think it's due out next year, the year after. But they just announced that the other prequel they're going to be doing is called Fire and Blood, and it's a history of the House Targaryen
Right.
from the original Aegon to the current time, which is about 5 or 6 generations. So what they think the premise is going to be is that each season is going to follow one generation of the Targaryens,
Oh, that's badass.
from the rise of Aegon to the fall of to Robert's Rebellion.
Okay. I'm down. Sounds
That
like
would be
me.
cool,
That would be cool.
especially if in 6 or 7 years they bring back
Oh.
Daenerys
Kingslayer and all
yeah,
those guys.
exactly,
Yeah.
in
Pretty
like
cool.
the last episode.
That'd be badass too.
A nice callback.
That would be. So do we want to take a break from news and talk about what we're watching?
Yeah, TV time is just a little section where we not necessarily we don't go in depth. We just talk about what we're watching. So this is actually the opening week of the primetime broadcast television fall season. So I just want to point out 3 shows that I really have been enjoying that are brand new. One is Prodigal Son with Michael Sheen, which is fantastic. It's about a profiler who is the son of a serial killer,
All right.
and Michael Sheen is the serial killer. So awesome. Another one is called Evil, and it actually stars Mike Coulter, who
Oh,
was
okay.
Luke Cage, but he plays a investigator who's hired by the Vatican to investigate possessions and miracles.
Okay. Nice.
And actually, he co-stars Asif Manvi, who used to be a correspondent on The Daily Show.
Cool.
So that looks really good. And actually, the villain in it is the guy who played Ben Linus in Lost.
Oh, really?
The one with the glasses.
Oh, I like that guy.
Yeah, he plays a good villain.
Good.
And then also, this is one I wasn't sure I was going to like, but it's a half-hour comedy called Bob Hart's Abishola.
Okay.
And it's with the guy who was in Mike and Molly, who played Mike, with Mike and Molly was a show ran for like 7 or 8 years with Melissa McCarthy.
Yep.
And but anyways, he plays a sock salesman, and he falls in love with this Nigerian nurse who took care of him after his heart attack.
Hey, what's up, Arjar?
And it is just it's written by the same people that did 2.5 Men and The Big Bang Theory,
Okay.
all that. And dude, the writing is just crisp,
Okay.
and it's fun to watch.
I
It's
believe you.
really kind of cute.
Not gonna watch it, but I believe.
And yeah, I know it's not your type of it's not your cup of tea. But then the one that I'm really looking forward to actually starts in about a week and a half. It's called Treadstone.
Okay.
And it's a TV series on the USA Network that is based in the Jason Bourne universe.
All right. Cool.
And we actually have a little bit of Jason Bourne news here in a little bit, and I'll mention that in a second.
Nice. Perfect.
What have you been watching?
I have been watching and haven't finished The Boys. I have
So
I have
good.
a few episodes left of that, but I left on a trip and haven't been back to it. We started watching. What is it? Shoot. So I'll come back to that in a second. But I watched a couple episodes of Black Mirror recently. The one of the most recent season, the first one about VR and stuff, was a trip. I watched that last night.
It was just a 3-episode season.
3
5,
episodes.
Right?
I
Yeah.
watched the first episode last night. Oh my god, that was really
Just
had
to let you
had
know,
my brain moving.
My phone just died, so you might want to check the picture on our.
Oh, well, that's my picture. So what do you want to do about that? Do you want to plug your phone in?
No, I'm saying my phone died, so there's no connection anymore.
Oh, okay. So now I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. So what else was I watching? Another show Kate and I were watching. We started watching Carnival Row.
Oh, how is that?
I have beef with the first scene in the first episode, and I got over it.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
And I haven't got over it. I like the premise. I like the story. I like the characters. The acting is great. But I think we're in the third. I think we watched 3 episodes. I like it just fine. I haven't let go of that first issue I had,
Right.
but I'm working on it. I really liked Carnival Row. Like, I liked the concept. The offsite event in San Diego was great as well. And then on my own, have I been watching anything? No, I think I'm good. I think that's all I've been watching.
Well, I know you haven't finished Archer.
Nope, haven't finished Archer. Oh, we watched the first episode of the new season of Superstore as well. I love Superstore.
You know, I've been adding that to my Plex, and
You would love that show.
and well, I used to work at a Walmart, so of course
it's basically Walmart.
exactly. I did see the trailer for the new season and how the old manager Glenn got replaced by a new robot named Glenn. Yeah. And actually, he's not replaced by the robot. The robot is just a floor cleaner. So I think that's funny. You might just want to hang up your hangout call, and it might take care of that picture issue.
Well, yeah, but I was going to give you just to charge your phone.
Oh, that'll work too. I just forgot mine at home.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so next bit of news.
If I don't get rid of it. So if you're looking at Will's not face to the left, it's his phone died. It'll be back up in a minute. So what are we doing? What's next?
I went and saw. Well, I'm not going to talk about all the movies I saw this summer because I did mention some of them when I called in when you were doing the show with Nick.
True.
But I just want to say, yesterday I went and finally saw Ad Astra, which was the movie with Brad Pitt. I wanted to like it so much more than I did.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. It was actually very good, but it was the screenplay was not surprising in the least.
No.
And the director was heavily influenced by Kubrick's 2001.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
So if you're a 2001 fan, you'll probably like Ad Astra unless you're going to think of it as a ripoff. But the what I liked about it was the visuals of the plants you see going by are just beautiful. And Brad Pitt's performance was very understated. And like half of it was in acting and half of it was in voiceover. And so I really enjoyed that. But yeah, so I saw that. And then one of my favorite movies of all time is Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to see that on the big screen last night, and I loved it.
What did I see? I saw something in the theater. I watched a bunch of movies with my kids. We've been watching Indiana Jones.
Oh, nice.
We watched the first 2 of those.
You let them watch...
it's not as bad as I thought.
It's
not as bad as I thought it was back in the day. They were fine. They've watched all the Marvel stuff.
Okay, that was one of the very first PG-13 movies.
Yeah, but it's fine. I took them to see Avengers in the theater, dude.
Dude, I cried.
I know, I cried a lot. I watched Avengers on the plane on the way to Houston. Like,
were you crying?
I had 4 hours, dude. I fell asleep for 40 minutes and then woke up and watched Avengers and cried for like the entire flight. The old lady next to me was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Anyway, all right, man. So, what else did I see? We watched Aladdin. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we watched Men in Black International recently too. So
you know it was better than it got reviews for.
Yeah, agreed.
What's your Wi-Fi password? Well, I just forgot because this is a new phone, so it's never been attached to your internet.
I don't think that's right.
It doesn't matter. I'll just go off of LTE for now.
No, but if not, I can re-enter it. It's capital ED, I think.
Yeah, no worries.
If it didn't go through. Okay, so what do we got next, dude? Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. So
We're trying to get Will back online. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
This live thing.
So this was actually a big news of this week is Kevin Feige is not only going to be doing Marvel. Mm-hmm. He is signing a looks like a spec deal to develop something for Star Wars. Just a single movie. It's not like a big trilogy that they gave directly to
Kathleen Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you think have they already said who's running the Obi-Wan movie yet?
No, but I think it's a series. It's an Obi-Wan series, I think.
Is it a series?
I
Not
think
a
so.
movie? Okay, you're right. Right. That is a series. I'm just wondering what he's gonna come up with. I'm excited either way because I like Feige, but he'll be
Yeah,
fine.
well, he's a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Oh, Will's back.
There we go. Yeah, he's a huge Star Wars fan, so that's great. I kind of changed my angle a little bit, so here, let me try to fix this.
Oh, now you get to see Will's arm.
Sorry, guys, hang on.
That's good enough. We're almost done.
There we go. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay.
He's back.
Yeah, so that's very exciting that Kevin Feige is coming over. A lot of people jumped the gun and thought, okay, this is them preparing to replace Kathleen Kennedy, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, yeah, granted, Solo didn't do as well as it expected, but
it could. I mean,
I'm thinking long term. But he's doing the only way it's going to happen is if they lock down the Russo brothers and bring. Why did I just lose my?
oh, could you turn it off?
No, it was. Hello.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, it's picking it up. I just can't hear it.
Really?
Yeah, I can't hear myself. Okay. Anyways, I'll just keep talking. They have to lock. Oh, there we go. We have to lock down the Russo brothers and have them run the creative elements of the Marvel universe.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And just have Feige look over them. I think the only way they're going to do this is I don't think that they're going to be training. I don't think they're training him to take over Kennedy as head of Lucasfilm, or as him to take over Marvel. I think they're training him to take over what used to be John Lasseter's position. Lasseter used to run Pixar, and then when Pixar got gobbled up by Disney, they made him chief creative officer for all of Disney.
Okay.
I think that's what they're. I think over the next 5 to 6 years, you might be seeing Feige being groomed for that position, which I don't think has been filled since Lasseter left.
No, that's possible. I like the theory, but we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of Disney inside baseball there for me.
No, I like that. That's actually really interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Because it'll put them, it won't have him necessarily as the boss of Kathleen Kennedy, which I think would be a thorn in her side, because basically the last person who was her boss was Lucas.
Right.
And before that, Spielberg. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But it gives him creative control over the story elements.
True.
And that the J.J. Abrams news, this isn't massive.
No.
But he basically confirmed the idea. If you remember back to The Last Jedi, that Kylo destroyed his helmet.
Right.
And in the trailer for the Last Skywalker, you see him repairing the helmet, but it's purposely mended so the scars are still visible.
Right. And it's basically a concept from Japanese culture.
Yes.
That is referencing something called kintsugi.
Yeah.
Or kintsurakuri, which is the art of repairing broken pottery, but using gluing the pieces back together and the seams being gold or silver. So highlighting the fact that breakage is a part of history and it's not something to hide.
It's basically
right?
the concept of healing by mending.
Yeah. Which I think is awesome. So JJ confirmed that was actually what he was going for with that.
Well,
so
the funny thing is if you look at Kylo's outfit from the first movie, I mean, he does have a cape and everything, but it's very samurai-esque.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. So I think that works.
All right, dude, we got a big announcement from the Smodcast or the Smodco.
I know, which I found this interesting, but I'll let you take the lead on it.
Well, it's interesting because in a Instagram post, Kevin Smith posted that he announcing Clerks 3 is happening after saying it's not happening, and going so far as to doing a stage reading of the script that he wrote to help a theater in New Jersey,
Right, raise money
and not go under, right? So I'm wondering if it was a combination of Jay and Silent Bob Reboot and this project to save this theater that brought it back, but really
Well,
what it comes down to is he's gonna do the movie.
Yeah, well, what happened with the Instagram post is it showed him with Jay Muse and I'm drawing a blank on the actor, but the guy who played Randall in Clerks.
O'Halloran?
Yeah, no,
No, the other one.
not Dante, but the not
yeah.
Brian O'Halloran,
I know
but
what
the
you're
other guy. But he was signing memorabilia. He was signing merchandise for an audience, and it's just like it brought back those feelings. And I'm like, but then it said that he spent the weekend writing the script again, and I'm
Right.
like, I thought he already had a finished script for Clerks 3
He did.
because he did that staged reading.
But I'm also wondering if he's doing it again. Jeff Anderson.
Thank you, Jeff Anderson.
Yeah, I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. Okay.
It's funny because I just quoted, I just quoted a line from him. I was talking to somebody at work, and my work, whatever. But it said, "This show would be great if it weren't for the fucking customers."
I know, right?
One of the best lines that Kevin Smith has ever written. But yeah, so Clerks 3 is happening, so that's big news.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got some Bourne news, dude.
Yeah, actually, well, like I said, Treadstone's going to be coming out in about a week and a half, and it's going to be a series based on the Bourne universe that's going to be on USA Network. But it looks like that they're in very, very early discussions on doing a Bourne 6.
You know that's gonna happen.
Well, it is, but the thing
In the
is,
world of Fast and the Furious 12.
but that's different because that's driven by the cast. This is Matt Damon has been very reticent to latch onto another film because
for sure.
if you look at Bourne 5, which was just called Jason Bourne, he only had like 47 spoken lines.
Yeah.
In a 2-hour plus movie. Granted, he's supposed to be a very
stoic and
very stoic character. But I would be okay with if they brought back Jeremy Renner from the Bourne Legacy.
Yeah, it's a good idea too.
Especially if it ties into Treadstone, because that movie dealt more with the concept of the program,
right,
and the program elements itself. Especially with Ed Norton as the guy running the whole thing.
And Mark Bernardin wrote some of the Treadstone, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? So they brought him on board just like he did Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Very cool.
He's kind of all over the place right now.
Well, then it just means it's going to be quality.
Yeah, exactly. All right, buddy. So gaming.
Gaming. Not too much. I was just going to say that I've resubbed just in time to get the new release, which is happening in a few weeks.
For the Nodlin.
Yeah, for the Nodlin. Dude, I want that playable species.
Yeah. And we're talking about Star Wars The Old Republic.
Yeah, sorry. Star Wars The Old Republic. I've resubbed. So I hope to play. I've got a 4-day weekend next week, and I hope to get some hours in.
I haven't unsubbed. I actually have been, the last couple of nights have been playing, doing some dailies, doing the conquests, stuff like that. Just kind of getting back into it. I've been playing a lot of Civ 6, a lot of Stardew Valley.
I put that on there because you and your wife got me into doing Stardew Valley.
I had to
before
stop
you left.
playing it for a bit, but I've been playing Civ 6 again just because when I got back from my trip, I just unwind time, just blow things up and build civilizations. That's what I've been doing. But I've been playing Star Wars The Old Republic a little bit more, which is good. And I've been itching to play Dragon Age Inquisition again, so I may boot that back up tonight.
Very cool. We only have a little bit of merchandise news, and this is the fact that today is Thursday, October 3rd. Tomorrow's Friday, October 4th, which is not only the release of the Joker, but it is Triple Force Friday. Because if you knew, for the last few years, Star Wars merchandising has been doing what's called Force Friday, which is getting ready for the fourth quarter, and where they're announcing all of their merchandise stuff from the Star Wars universe for the fourth quarter.
Right.
Well, they skipped it last year, and so they decided to come back with a vengeance and call it Triple Force Friday.
Ooh, triple.
Because they're focusing on 3 properties. So all the stuff that was announced, and we have a link in the show notes, and you can follow it to, I believe it was CNET who did this article and showed us a whole bunch of, they have a gallery of images of all the merchandise. But it focuses on 3 properties. It's the Mandalorian, the Jedi Fallen Order, which is the new game coming out, and Jedi The Last Skywalker. So those sales,
awesome.
All that merchandise goes on sale tomorrow, or a few days ago, depending on when you listen to this.
Yeah.
But it's October 4th. So check out the link, check out the merch, go and check it out. I know a whole bunch of people on the inside. I'm talking like, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank on the woman who hosts the Star Wars show on their YouTube channel. and Ashley Eckstein has posted that they are really excited about a lot of this merchandise.
Right. And we didn't put it in the show notes, but thank you, Arjar, for reminding us. Although you will probably hear this after the fact, definitely check out anything that Kid Lee puts up. He hosts our stream often, and vice versa. But he will be trying to stream the SWTOR Community Cantina from New York Comic Con, which is happening this weekend as well.
Which was actually the very next thing on my list. Which
Was it?
under events?
Oh, I didn't see that new format.
We have the conventions, which we've always had a little convention section, but we don't normally talk about anything post Comic Con.
Indeed.
But it's the I think the first time in a few years they're doing a cantina at New York Comic Con near the Javits Center. So
They've been doing it pretty consistently.
did they do it?
Yeah, that's the one they've been going to consistently. They
Okay,
haven't,
cool.
they haven't been to San Diego.
Screw.
I know.
I'm
Don't
just-
get me started.
Okay, so yeah, definitely go to Kid Lee's page tomorrow and check that out. And then for the last thing for me, my thing I've been doing is the Daily Dose of Disney.
Yep.
And I have exactly one Patreon subscriber, and he's been there since the first month.
Oh, I love it.
And I just want to give him a quick shout out. He doesn't toss me a lot of money, but honestly, I haven't even dug into it yet. But I'm hoping to use it to buy myself, more swag that I can give away to stuff like that. But I do have a few of these left that I might be giving away to both our Daily Dose of Disney followers and our podcast followers. I have some of the original maps from the first week the Galaxy's Edge was open.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
Which is a very, very cool map. I think I've got 5 left from my trip from when I went there. So
Okay.
I might be doing a giveaway that I'll announce next one. But I do want to tell Eddie that I'm giving him an original set of both the original trading card sets of the Toy Story and Toy Story 2 sets
Nice.
and the Lion King set of trading cards from the 90s. So he will be getting a couple of binders of nice, crisp Disney card sets.
Lucky guy. Awesome.
And I actually do have plenty of. I also have some Pocahontas sets. I've got more Toy Story sets, more Lion King sets that I'll be giving away in the future.
Very cool.
You can always follow me there at Daily Disney 1923 on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
Nice. And since we're plugging random things that we do, Nick and myself are doing a giveaway for a book from one of our Patreon subscribers. And basically, we might be changing it as of the next episode, but either give us a rating or submit a piece of writing if you're a writer to all our, and I'll put a link in the show notes to Just Keep Writing as well. And we have Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we give away books, and hopefully it'll help you with your writing career. And that's the whole goal.
Awesome.
So, all right, man. So we're out.
We are out.
Sweet. So thanks for tuning in to The Usual Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can find us at theusualpodcast.com. Email us at theusualpodcast@gmail.com. And we're on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Please share us with all your friends. Find us on your favorite podcatchers, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and the rest. And the best ways to support our show is audibletrial.com/usualpodcast. And the 100% bestest way is to give us money directly, which will help us do all the things that we do. I know that was terrible.
But no, it's going to help us buy a Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah, and then I would like to actually have this piece of equipment in my room at all times. So patreon.com/usualpodcast is the best way to do that. So thank you to everybody who does that. Thanks to our drinking buddies. Thanks everybody for bearing with us for our brief hiatus. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We really appreciate everybody tuning in the chat room. And we are playing SWTOR again. Just not talking about it 100% like we used to, but we still love the community and we're still part of it. So thank you everybody for tuning in. What do you got, buddy?
Peace.
Oh, you're gonna blow it. You're gonna blow it.
Oh, did I blow it again?
You blew it. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, everybody go and have a fun, and we'll see you all next
I
week.
hate myself.
You fucking blew it again.
It's been 9 months.
You have one catchphrase. One catchphrase. I softballed it to you.
It's because I haven't had a fun in 9 months.
I hate all of you. I'm just kidding. Thank you, chat room, for being there. I'm sorry Will blew it at the end, but it'll be hilarious when it comes out. So yeah, man.
Oh God, I blew it.
I thought you were joking. I love it. That makes me happy. All right, I'm stopping all this. Good night, guys. Thank you.
You're gonna edit it so the last line is me saying I blew it.
Probably.
That's the title of the show.
I would. I think we have it. I think we have an episode titled that already, though.
Oh, probably. It was probably me forgetting my stupid catchphrase again.
Yep, likely. All right. Good night, guys.
Night,
Thank you.
guys.